Welcome to your Flame Fundamentals training. Let's have a look at some of the basics of moving around the sequence and navigational tools. So you'll work the positioner, the focus point, learn about zooming in the sequence, panning in the sequence, and finally scrolling the sequence. The positioner is your visual indication as to where you are in the sequence. When you click and drag the positioner, the current frame will be displayed in the player. If snap is turned on, the positioner will snap to the transitions as you drag through the sequence. This can help you work accurately without having to zoom in all the time. If you prefer to navigate between transitions instead of dragging the positioner along the sequence, you can use the buttons in the player or just press the up and down arrows. If you want the positioner to jump to another point in the sequence, you can do it in two ways. Just click on the timecode bar and the positioner will jump to that point in the edit. Or you can click in the scrub bar of the player and it will do the same thing. If you know the specific timecode, you can click on the timecode indicator and type in the values. After pressing enter, the positioner will jump to that specific timecode in the sequence. The timecode indicators can also be used to control the frame advance of the positioner. For example, using the left and right arrow keys, the positioner typically moves forward or backward by one frame. But if you open the timecode indicator and type in a value, like 5 for example, using the left and right arrows will move the positioner by 5 frames in either direction. You can keep navigating at 5-frame increments, or press enter to return to the default behavior of 1 frame at a time. Please note that if you're using a keyboard with a number pad, you don't need to click on the timecode indicator to move the positioner. Just type +10 and press enter. The positioner will move forward by 10 frames. Now if you take a closer look at the positioner, you will see a small horizontal bar. This is called the focus point. You'll discover it has many functions in the sequence, and this also includes track navigation. So if you have a sequence with multiple video tracks, you can move the focus point between the tracks, either with the cursor or keyboard shortcuts. The first purpose of the focus point is to choose which track you want to navigate. So when you are focused on a specific track, you can navigate the transitions of that specific track and ignore all the other tracks. As a great tip, if you want the positioner to navigate every cut on every track, you hold Ctrl followed by the up and down arrows on your keyboard. The second purpose of the focus point is to have a timeline indicator of which tracks you see in the player. So when the focus point is on video track 1, you only see the contents of video track 1. When you move the focus point to video track 2, you see the combined result of video tracks 1 and 2. So there is a top-down priority in the sequence. As a tip, if you have a lot of video tracks in the sequence and you just want to jump to the top layer, press Shift Page Up. When working in a long and complex edit, it's quite common to focus on a specific part of the sequence. There are a few ways you can zoom in, and everyone has their personal favorite. One way is to click on the horizontal scroll bar and drag up or down to zoom in and out. To fit the sequence to the view, you can click the home icon located to the bottom right of the sequence. This button also cycles your last zoom setting, making it easier to jump in and out of the sequence as you work. Another way is to use the rectangular zoom and drag a box selection to zoom on a region. If you prefer a gestural way to zoom, hold Ctrl and space and drag in the view to zoom the sequence horizontally. Finally, the pull-down menu at the bottom right of the timeline gives you various options to fit the timeline. You've already used the home option, which is zoom to width and height. The second is to reset the track height. The third is to fit the track width. And the fourth and final option is to zoom to a selection of segments in the sequence. To pan the sequence left or right, you can use the horizontal scroll bar at the bottom of the sequence. However, for a more freeform pan, you can hold space and gesturally drag the sequence in any direction. The vertical scroll bar also has two functionalities. First, you can click and drag it left or right to adjust the track height. For a more controlled incremental adjustment, just click the plus and minus buttons below. And secondly, as expected, you can scroll the vertical tracks in the sequence with the scroll bar. This is also mapped to the middle wheel of a mouse if you're using one. Please move on to the next video, and don't forget to like and subscribe to the Flame Learning channel. Thanks for watching.